of independence and personality, a nation with an attitude without drugs and corruption. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Indonesia is one of the developing countries. Now, Indonesia is a target for other countries because Indonesia has a large potential nation and expansive geographic location with many natural resources. So, their attempt their independence and personality of Indonesian nation to increase, so it can be used. The drugs doesn't come from other countries, but domestically. One way of using drugs and corruption in the various levels. So, I made scientific paper with the title Increasing Innovation, the Independence and Personality of Nation with an Attitude Without Drugs and Corruption. Formulation program related with the title are: first, what is the effect from the drugs and corruption to independence and personality of Indonesia? And the second, to analyze anti-drugs and corruption about independence and personality of Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, the incident of abusing drugs from year to year is always increasing. The drug addicts are generally between 15 years old until to 24 years old. It means it is the productive age and student age. So, if they are addicted to drugs, the country will lose generation that the improve and quality of nation. And there are three characters. There are very dangerous from drugs. First, habitualism. Habitualism is the behavior of the drugs that make them will always be remembered. And the second, addictive. Addictive is the attitude that make them was forced to use always and cannot be stopped. And the last, the dust so always be reminded when the dust of the drug is not reminded to what related. The results are euphoria, delirium, hallucination, weakness, and dullness. Ladies and gentlemen, besides that, corruption. Corruption in Indonesia always increased. Corruption is always performed by individual has increased the authority and position to extract personal benefit and harm the public interest. According to metronews.com, Indonesia ranks 64 in orders of the most corrupt countries in 2017. The causes are reading, opportunity, needs, and exposure. And the influence of corruption to inhibit investment and economic growth, weaken the capacity and ability of the government in applying development programs. So, the people in the countries feel they are not comfortable because the fund is provided by the government has been taken by corruptor. So, all people get effect for it. And Prophet says, someone who is rich will be richer, and someone who is poor will be poorer. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we must solve the program as soon as possible with the new innovation, the combine and prevent, so that it won't happen about the rise incident. The solution that we can do by three ways. There are preventive, curative, and rehabilitative. From the preventive ways, we can give information to all people, from the young people until others people, about drugs and corruption. Because of them can make people addicted. So don't try to consume also little bit. If the people know about the effect of drugs and corruption for himself, family, environment, and these countries, they will say no to drugs and corruption. And the second way is curative. drugs and corruption, they will be given therapy to stop using drugs and corruption. Besides that, they must be given punishment so they didn't do it again. And the last, rehabilitative camp used to cover the hard body and soul, so the user free from addiction. And then we must be careful to choose everything, especially friendship. Okay, and the last, I think enough for my speech, and I am sorry for the mistake. And the last, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.